Radio. Be advised that the content of this program has been documented to prevent and even cure liberalism, and listening may cause you to lean to the right. Here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
You know, I am probably twice as conservative, not bitter in hour number 2, which is what you're listening to now, whether you're listening on YouTube, and if you are, good morning, good evening, or whenever you're watching this YouTube, whether you're listening on radio, KYAH in Utah, Freedom 95 in Indianapolis, listening as a podcast. It's good to have you no matter where you're listening. You can catch hour number 1 on our website, toddhuffshow.com/listen. You can also catch it on Facebook, facebook.com/toddhuffshow. And look, I want to continue this discussion that we've been having here. Been having this discussion. I really kind of started off last hour by pointing out that this situation, the response, the things that have transpired since the tragic death of George Floyd, and I'm talking specifically about some of the extreme circumstances, the riots, and then some of the things that we're told not that we can't have opinions on. Right, that's what's politically correct here. How quickly people have moved from the American ideals, freedom and liberty, to how quickly, when something like this happens, people abandon those principles. It makes me wonder how many people really had those principles, believed those principles, embraced those principles to begin with. And there's lots of reasons for that. There's education or lack thereof. There's a hatred for America in a lot of academic circles. America is the problem around the world. And of course, if America is the problem, the root of all evil, then the things that we embrace here as part of our foundation are also apparently evil. Same thing happened with COVID. Same thing. I mean, we're a country that believed in liberty, free choice. You know, at some point we went from flatten the curve, which Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports talked about this. We shared his rant before. I think it's even still on our website. But he shared his, perspective. It went from, when did we go from flatten the curve to you can't go back outside until, there's a vaccine, which is what some people have said, right? There's some dramatic actions and government intervention during this. And we changed. We changed from this nation that embraced liberty and choice, and the idea that if you're concerned about going out, then, don't go out. If someone else is concerned and is not concerned, or they have a business to run and they realize that I have to take certain risks and I've calculated those risks, and the risk of my business, which is my livelihood or my ability to provide for my family, the risk of not tending to that has a greater impact of causing harm to me and my family than COVID. People make that decision, then they should be able, of course, to make that. But people, now you see the hashtag stay at home, stay the blank at home, or whatever. That became, that's what you're supposed to do. Government spoke. They told you what to think about this. You comply. You don't even raise questions. In fact, they want to silence voices who have different opinions. I sense the same thing happening here. I sense the same thing happening with, I'm looking at people, ripping down the fires burning in the streets, ripping down shelters at bus stops, hitting brick walls with sledgehammers or whatever of buildings in the streets. That's what this has become. And in the case of Drew Brees, who I played his soundbite last hour, where he basically said he's never going to kneel for the anthem. That's unacceptable. Those two things are inextricably linked to the people who are really apparently supposed to tell us what we're supposed to do. And I'm sorry. I'm willing to listen to anybody. Well, I'm not willing to listen to Antifa. I'm not willing to listen to someone who is launching a revolution, a coup d'etat to overthrow the United States, someone who's engaged in domestic terrorism. If your starting point is you will comply with what I say, or I will threaten you and your family, your country with violence, there's no sense. That will not be tolerated or dealt with. That's not a serious. They're serious, but that's not a serious group of people that want to come to some conclusion here. They are professional rebel rousers. I mean, this is they want to stir the pot. They want to transform America. And so you're not allowed to, I'm not going to comply with that. I'm also not going to comply with people who simply want to tell us how we have to look at these issues that are facing us today. They're not the arbiters of all things and those who can determine what's true and what the correct viewpoint should be. And so, but they think that. So the NFL players in the NFL are mad at Drew Brees for saying that he's not going to kneel for the anthem. They come out and even players that are not NFL players, NBA, LeBron James, criticizing Drew Brees, questioning how smart he is. I actually think Drew Brees is quite an intelligent guy. Drew Brees is a class act, if I'm being quite honest, quite candid. Something I can't say for some of these folks who are criticizing Drew Brees. I will not mention any names, but I'm very tempted to do so. But not all of them. And look, you can have different opinions. You can disagree with Drew Brees. But see, here's the problem. The problem is they don't want Drew Brees to be able – that's the wrong opinion, right? They tell him – and this is so ironic to me. Drew Brees says, hey, the anthem is sacred to me. Why are you telling me how to view the anthem? Meanwhile, they're saying, hey, we want to kneel during the anthem. Why are you telling us we have to view the anthem that way? Well, all Drew Brees said was he wasn't going to kneel. He might say, I don't like it when other people kneel. He didn't say it in that soundbite. All he said was he wasn't going to kneel. But ironically, they want to tell Drew Brees how to feel about issues. Ironically, they want to tell him how to express himself. But apparently they don't want him to be able to express himself. I mean, do they want to force him to kneel during the anthem? Do they want to bully him into complying? I thought we had a big push to stop bullying. I mean, you read some of these tweets, and I'm going to do that. You read some of these tweets, and it certainly appears that Drew Brees is trying to be bullied into kneeling during the anthem. Ryan Clark, who I had a lot of respect for Ryan Clark, former NFL safety, Pittsburgh Steelers. Not sure what I think about that, right? I know what I think about what he said here about Drew Brees. Here's what he said. Always knew who he was, right? In response to Drew Brees' comment saying he wasn't going to kneel for the anthem. For him, it's about what his grandfathers did, defending this great nation. You're not allowed to have that viewpoint, apparently, I guess. Ryan Clark, former NFL safety, now he's a commentator on, I don't know, NFL Network, or I don't know where he is. Again, I liked listening to him. Here's what he said, though. Always knew who he, talking about Drew Brees, was. Every time y'all came at me and said I couldn't come home because I didn't think he was Jesus, oh well, keep cheering. I don't know. I mean, didn't think he was Jesus. Delusional way. I don't think Drew Brees. I think Jesus is Jesus. I don't think Drew Brees is Jesus. Not really sure what Ryan Clark's thinking here. Then you got people, Darius Slay. I'm looking at a Fox News list of some of these tweets. Damn, Drew hurt me with that one. Drew hurts these people by saying standing for the anthem is honoring those who have fought and defended this great nation. That hurts people. Here's Aaron Colvin. I got to be honest, I'm not sure if I know who Aaron Colvin is. That's not meant to be disrespectful here. But he says, I dealt with racism as a child. So no offense to your mentor, but the sound of children playing in certain areas of our country does not all sound the same. Make sure when you listen with the intent of understanding. That's in response. That, by the way, he's retweeting something else. Drew Brees had retweeted something else, so Aaron Colvin's come at him from that. And then there's some other people who jumped in. Devin and Jason McCourty, they both played at one point. I don't know if they both play for the Patriots now or not. They did at one point. This is what they say. This is a disgrace to speak about your grandfathers as if there weren't black men fighting next to them. Did he? I mean, the things that people see or hear, he didn't address that. He didn't say it was an all-white army. He didn't say that there were no black Americans fighting. Actually, what he said was he respects and wants to honor those who did fight. So what if his grandparents were white? What the heck does that got to do with anything? His grandfathers who fought in World War II. It didn't even come up. He was simply saying that I'm not going to kneel for the anthem because of what it means to me, because of what they fought for, because of the beauty of what America is. It's far from perfect, but it is good. You know, I wonder, maybe we'll talk about this segment, what would the world look like without a United States of America? I know for the radicals, for Antifa, I read their stupid propaganda stuff. They think that the world will be a better place without the United States. America is the problem for them. The truth is, however, this place would be dark without the United States. This place would be, I mean, people, the understanding of history is unbelievable. The lack of understanding of history. I mean, we had literally the 20th century was the deadliest. Oz is doing over here. But the 20th century, was one of the deadliest, centuries we've had with war, and not just with war, but we had governments killing their own people. Governments were killing their own people. Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, Benito Mussolini. I mean, the list goes on. Pol Pot. The list goes on and on. Fidel Castro. There's so many names and so much. Mao Zedong. Sorry for saying Yao. I'm talking NBA and NFL. It makes me say Yao instead of Mao. But Mao, who, by the way, had an ornament on the Obama Christmas tree. I mean, we live in a completely upside-down world. And what liberated that? What liberated the world? What liberated the world from that 20th century mess? You know what it was? It was the United States of America. Now, again, did the United States, have we done bad things, atrocious things in regards to race? You bet we have. Have we come a long way in remedying those? I believe we certainly have. I mean, this country at one point, as part of its constitution and law, said that one person could own another person. Reprehensible, terrible. The 3/5 compromise. People in the South wanted to count black slaves as, full people for the census so they could get higher representation, but they didn't want to give them the right to vote. So they came up with this compromise. People in the North didn't want to give, count black slaves as the same because of, they weren't given the right to vote. And why should individuals who are not given liberty and full human rights, why should they count towards your ability to have more representation of that of that thought process in Congress? So they came up with a compromise, 3/5 compromise. That's in our history, folks. That's not good. But we can't change that, but we've made it better. It's much, much better today. Does it mean that there are no racists? Of course not. Does it mean that there's systemic racism in our country as far as it pertains to laws? That's another thing altogether. And that's not what we're dealing with. Maybe, there certainly are instances of officers doing things that they shouldn't do. And there's also certainly examples of Black Americans causing violence against officers. They shouldn't do that either. I don't know why we all can't agree with that. Anyway, Drew Brees didn't bring up half of what they're making. He didn't bring up any of what they're making this about. Again, I didn't finish reading the McCourty brothers' tweet. Bear with me here. But the rest of their tweet says this. Don't avoid the issue and try to make it about a flag or the military. Fight like your grandfathers for what's right. Just because he said, I'm not kneeling during the anthem, didn't mean he's not in support of the other movement. He just simply said, I'm not going to kneel during the anthem. And then they're saying, don't make it about the flag. Well, who made it about the flag? The people that knelt during the anthem. Look, you can say they were trying to say it has nothing to do with that. But they made it about the flag by doing it. I mean, it's like, it's just, this. We wouldn't allow this kind of logic to happen in any other aspects of our lives, right? I mean, you hear things on social media. For example, you'll hear people who wear white to, a woman that wears white to a wedding, right? Well, there's nothing wrong with the woman wearing white, is there? But she wears white to a wedding. See, the circumstances matter. Also hear of examples of people at a wedding, a guy proposing to a woman at someone else's wedding. Oh, they've taken the limelight off of the couple that just got married and made it about them. These other people have paid for this. Now they've made it their little sideshow. Is it wrong that he asked her to marry him? Or is it maybe just different that it happened during the wedding? That's all Drew Brees is saying. All he's saying is that I'm not going to kneel for the anthem. We can't I don't want to make this issue take over something that I think is sacred as well. That's it. And folks have lost their minds on this. Teammates. I find myself wondering, is he going to go back and play again? Because I can't imagine that this is not going to go away for him. I mean, he's going to be hounded by this for the rest of his career. I don't even know there's anything he can do to appease the people who are upset with him, unless he maybe goes out and protests tonight or something. Anyway, long in this segment, just as I was last hour as well. Got to take a time out. Come back, continue our discussion on these very important issues. And look, you don't have to agree with me. I'm conservative, not bitter. I welcome you, no matter what your viewpoint and ideology. I used to say I don't care. I do care. I want to persuade you for constitutional conservatism. I want to persuade you to. I mean, man, we've got to find a way to stop some of this nonsense that we're dealing with. And there's nonsense at all sorts of levels here. A lot of misrepresentations of truth about what people like I think, just because we're not on board with some of the radical stuff happening. I mean, there's police officers that are being targeted. That seems to be completely ignored in the media here, as we've basically seen war erupt on officers. So lots to discuss here with this issue. I know it's sensitive, and I just trying to get through this, keep the country together, and keep moving towards the principles that are sound and that will, in fact, get this country back on track. So anyway, quick time out. Come back and continue this discussion. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter. To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Are you an electrician, plumber, or handyman looking for an 8-to-5 job that pays you what you're worth? Copper Ridge Home Services wants you. Our veteran-owned family business offers holiday pay, weekends off, and on-site training for entry-level positions. Our team is growing, so if you have a can-do attitude, we want you to be part of that growth. Ready for a change? Give Copper Ridge a call at 317-839-6100. That's 317-839-6100. Copper Ridge Home Services. We value your time.
Hi, my name is John Swadner, Sales Director of the Todd Huff Show. As a listener of the program, you know the show is growing. 4 years ago, it began as a podcast in a closet. Today, it's a 2-hour show that airs during morning drive in Indy and in Utah, and we're just scratching the surface. Todd brought me on board to help the show and our advertisers grow. That's why I'm specifically looking for partners who are a good fit to advertise with us. Would that be you? To learn more about what advertising would look like and to determine if it's a good fit for your business, shoot me an email to john@toddhuffshow.com. And be sure to ask me about some of our special packages that will save you up to 40%. Email john@toddhuffshow.com. Shoot me an email today.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
The compassion of Christ compels us to stop what we're doing and seek that person out. I think as Jesus went in that famous song I sang as a little kid was Zacchaeus, come down. Zacchaeus was in a tree and he wanted to engage with Jesus, but he just couldn't, and Jesus stopped and he went over to him. If we are going to live a life of compassion, the compassion of Christ, are we willing to stop and seek those who need a touch of compassion today?
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Seems like just yesterday that you couldn't find a quiet place to think in your home. Now all the kids have flown the nest and you find yourself wondering what to do with all of that extra space. This is Bruce of Bruce Richardson Realty. My team and I understand that life changes, and so do your home needs. So whether you're downsizing or upsizing, give us a call at 317-507-3285. Let us help you find the best fit for your residential or your commercial property needs. 317-507-3285.
Welcome back. And again, there's so much to cover here. So much going on. It's overwhelming at times, if I'm being honest here, just to try to manage everything, to try to manage all this. Again, talking about Drew Brees in particular, and just, I don't know, it's problematic to me how quickly you're supposed to abandon fundamental American principles. That's what Drew Brees believes, that kneeling for the flag disrespects it. Someone else says, well, you don't even know why I'm kneeling. Well, Drew Brees says, I just wouldn't do that. I won't do that because of what the flag means to me. Oh, so you're racist? No, actually it has nothing to do with it. I just happen to support the men and women who have fought for this country, many of which are black or are minority or are whoever. I'm not even talking about any of that. I'm just simply saying that I'm blessed and fortunate and thrilled that they did this. And when, by kneeling, I'm just not going to participate in that. He didn't even say that they shouldn't. Maybe he thinks that they shouldn't. Maybe he said that before, but he didn't say it in this clip. But he's supposed to fully embrace every action ever taken by a protester. Nothing could be worse. I mean, and in their minds, you have to take whatever protest happens and just accept it. And it's as though there's no consequences. There's nothing else worth. Again, the playing of the national anthem is symbolic. Why does he have to agree with their protests and symbolic actions in the case of kneeling, and they don't have to pay any respect to his whatsoever? It's maddening. It really is. It's at some point. I mean, this is ratcheted up really quickly. And again, I mentioned earlier, this reminds me of COVID. We went from a society that was operating freely. We were going to and fro. We were engaging in commerce, and suddenly the brakes came on, and in 5 seconds, you had to comply, lock yourself in your home, get in the duck and cover position, put on a mask, isolate yourself from the rest of the world. As I've said before, hide your kids, hide your wife, shut everything up, lower the blinds, all of that. I'm being facetious to some point here, but you get the idea. Immediately, suddenly freedom and choice didn't matter. Governors have stepped in. Experts like Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx have stepped in. And I'm not saying that none of this is even to say that there's not legitimate points to be made, that there's not truth to be said. It's just simply to say, why are we willing to throw away all these other principles at really the drop of a hat? Instantaneously, whatever happened to just having, being able to have our own opinion? Criticize him, fine. But someone actually pointed out on Twitter, one of the things that I'm thinking about, which is Damon Harrison Sr. Again, I don't know who he is, so no disrespect intended. How can you be in the locker rooms? See, I want to know how he's going to go back in the locker rooms with players, given the response to this. How can you be in the locker room speaking to players, know the reasoning, and yet still be dumb enough to believe it's about the flag? This is maddening. It's about the flag to him, Damon Harrison Sr. That's how. Why do you get to hijack and tell him what his respect for the anthem is about? Why? Why do you get to tell him no? Suddenly this time is about police brutality and racism. No, it's the national anthem. The stated purpose of this is for me to honor my country, to remember why we have this freedom, why we have this stage, why we have these opportunities. I'm grateful for this. This isn't about, look, these other issues matter. Those other issues are important. But that's not what this is about for me. You don't get to tell me what this is about. Drew Brees didn't stop anyone from kneeling. You can try to persuade, but this isn't persuasion. He calls him dumb enough to believe it's about the flag. It is about the flag, Damon Harrison, for Drew Brees. It is about the flag for lots of other Americans, Damon Harrison. How do you get to tell us what it's about? He should know better than that. You should know better than that. It's about the flag for him. You don't get to say to him what the national anthem's about. This is preposterous nonsense. Damn, man, not Drew. Tyrann Mathieu, who I thought back in the day when he was drafted. See, I'm a big SEC football fan. He played at LSU. I'm a Bama fan, but I like LSU. You're not allowed to do that either, but I just like good football, which is why I watch the SEC. His tweet to Drew Brees was, SMH, shaking my head, you represent New Orleans, Louisiana. Don't ever forget that. He works in New Orleans. He's not this is what Drew Brees believes. He wants to, stand for the anthem. I mean, folks, we've gone from, defending the rights of people to kneel during the anthem to now it seems to be you don't have the right to stand for the anthem. Let that sink in. And that's really close to where we're headed with this. The default point is the anthem, used to be the anthem starts playing, you stand up, put your hand on your heart or whatever it is, at least respectfully stand. Now it is, you better take a knee. I mean, that's the direction this thing's headed. And if you don't, there's going to be proverbial hell to pay. Anyway, long in this segment. I want to play. I got to be careful because he drops the F-bomb. But I want to play Malcolm Jenkins, what he had to say in response to this. He's really one of the, he's something with the union, I think, but he's one of the leading voices as it pertains to the kneeling and Black Lives Matter and all the things that, involved in this issue. He's one of those voices in the NFL. He had something to say to Drew Brees that ended with the statement, but sometimes you should shut the F up to Drew Brees. Whatever happened to free speech? I mean, Kaepernick gets to have the speech of kneeling during the anthem. You can't tell him to shut up his speech, but Drew Brees has to shut up. We're heading into this. I mean, this is really we're developing a mob mentality here. Not just we have it in the streets with the riots. Now we've got it in the attack mentality. I don't hear much persuasion here. I hear escalation. Drew Brees did not do anything to escalate the situation. He shared his opinions. He was very considerate, said very nice things. There should be nothing offensive whatsoever about that, but that, of course, is not how this plays out. So, continue this when we get back. Quick time out. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Radon is an invisible, odorless gas that kills more people than drunk driving. In fact, radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. Is radon threatening the health of your family? Call Radon Environmental at 317-843-0804. Radon Environmental specializes in radon testing and mitigation. The process is quick, easy, and worth it. Radon Environmental wants to make sure your family's health is not at risk. Call 317-843-0804.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in Central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $100 down, $200 back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout Central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at Zuluscape.com.
Ever ask yourself, What does my business insurance actually cover? Well, at AIA and Avon, we think you deserve to know. AIA is focused on earning your trust. We've found that when we educate our clients and truly listen to them, they allow us to work alongside them to put together the insurance plan they need. Whether your business is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com. Advertisement sponsored by Grange Insurance.
Hi, I'm Greg Hubler from Greg Hubler Chevrolet. You know, a promise can get lost in a big city, but in a smaller town, a promise made had better be a promise kept. That's why the Greg Hubler Promise covers every vehicle we sell. All new Chevys receive a 3-year, 45,000-mile scheduled maintenance, plus complimentary roadside assistance and a free car wash with every visit. A promise made is a promise kept. Stop by Greg Hubler Chevy today or visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Outside of the federal government, no one likes losing money. Any amount of money, not just the $6 billion the State Department lost. And what makes losing money worse is knowing that we could have done something to stop it. Well, if you have an inefficient furnace, a toilet that won't stop running, or a leaky faucet, you can do something about it. You can call the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Call 317-831-5279 or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Welcome back. It's absolutely incredible the more I look at this. And I know we've talked about this a while, but I just think that there's so many lessons here. There's so many lessons. You're not allowed to have an opinion that's different from whatever is politically correct at the moment. Drew Brees' statements are taken completely out of context. All he said was he's not kneeling for the anthem because of what it means to him. And suddenly people say it's not about the anthem. And Drew says, then don't make it. He didn't say this, but I mean, I'm just saying it for him. Don't make it about the anthem for me. I'm not going to do this. I can maybe even find a way to support you in other ways, but I'm not kneeling for the anthem. It means something to me. People calling him ignorant. Actually, Doug Baldwin, where is Baldwin now? I don't even know if I know where Doug Baldwin is now. I made the mistake earlier saying Malcolm Jenkins was on the Eagles. He was on the Eagles originally. Now he's on the Saints. I thought he was on the Saints and then went to the Eagles. Anyway, current safe. We're going to play this soundbite. Get the bleep button ready for this one, but what about this treat from Doug Baldwin? He used to play for the for the Seahawks. I don't know if he's still there or not. Again, I don't watch as much. I mean, and this isn't going to help. This kind of nonsense coming almost in unison from the rest of the league is not going to help me want to turn on this NFL anytime at all. This is what he says. Incredible. Drew Brees is Drew Brees. The reason my children have to live in a world that won't empathize with their pain is because people like you are raising your children to perpetuate the cycle. Drew, you are the problem. Let's listen to what that was, again, Douglas Baldwin, receiver, NFL. I don't know if he's with the Seahawks still. I don't care. Whatever. But let's listen to Malcolm Jenkins here. This is actually a lot of players basically, well, I shouldn't say a lot. Some players said, let's let Malcolm Jenkins summarize it for us because he's kind of the one of the spokespeople. We like how he summarizes this. So I want you to hear this. And look, he's emotional about this. I had no problem with this. I had no problem with any of that. But he does say that they're done asking. I don't know what does that mean? Is Drew Brees going to be forced now to kneel for the anthem? Here we go. Let's listen to this. Got to get the bleep button ready.
Our communities are under siege, and we need help. And what you're telling us is, don't ask for help that way. Ask for a different way. I can't listen to it when you ask that way. We're done asking, Drew. And people who share your sentiments, who express those and push them throughout the world, the airways, are the problem.
I guess I'm the problem.
And it's unfortunate because I considered you a friend. I looked up to you. You're somebody who I had a great deal of respect for. But sometimes you should shut the
Yeah, sorry. He said at the very end there, sometimes you should shut the blank up, and I hit the mute button to cut it out, and it cut out the word up. But that's better than not cutting out the word, well, the one I intended to cut out. So anyway, they're not asking. What does that mean? We're not asking anymore. Okay. I mean, again, is the default position now of the NFL you're going to kneel during the anthem? Drew Brees simply doesn't want to. This is how quickly something completely innocent, expressing how he feels about this nation, his respect for it, the people that fought and defended it, how quickly it can be distorted, blown out of proportion. And now Drew Brees is going to be playing defense because of the negative attention here. It's incredible. It is truly incredible how much leeway people on one side are given to say and do whatever they want, right? Telling other players to shut the blank up. No big deal. I won't expect Roger Goodell to jump in and say, hey, you can't publicly go to Twitter to do this. That's not how we want our players interacting with one another. No. But I'll tell you what, if the shoe were on the other foot, you could almost guarantee that it would happen. Anyway, got to take a break. Listening to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Anxiety, depression, relationship problems, past trauma. Problems rarely get better when given time. Care to Change Counseling can help. Our professionals combined evidence-based care models with scripture to get you on the path to a productive life. We are here to help you make the changes you need for a healthier, happier you. Take that brave step today. Call Care to Change at 317-790-9396 or visit caretochange.org.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
I love my community, and I wanted to do more to make a difference with my hard-earned dollars. I wanted to make an impact and help shape our future and our county. So I gave money to the Community Foundation of Morgan County. More than just charitable giving, the money I donate is tracked and measured so every dollar is held accountable. It's a social return on your investment. Why don't you join me in donating at cfmconline.org? That's cfmconline.org. Philanthropy with measurable impact.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 down, $200 back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freegee, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freegee, Freije, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freegee, owner and lead auctioneer at Freegee Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Welcome back. There's another thing that's happened out there. It's along these same lines. There was an op-ed written by Senator Tom Cotton from the state of Arkansas that was published in the New York Times. And in this op-ed, Tom Cotton basically defended Trump threatening or promising to use the military to cause the nonsense, the rioting. Talking about the rioting again. I have spoken at length about the difference between rioters and protesters, exercising freedom and constitutional rights to, express concerns and problems, petition your government for a redress of grievances, as the Constitution says. The Bill of Rights says anyway. That's what I'm talking about with nonsense. I mean, we got cities. I mean, it's violently out of control. So Tom Cotton says, basically, in summary here, I'm gonna, I defend President Trump for doing this. This has been done. Presidents have used the military in the past. It does not amount to martial law. I'm looking at an excerpt here. Or the end of democracy, as some excitable critics, ignorant of both the law and our history, have comically suggested. In fact, the federal government has a constitutional duty to to the states to protect each of them from domestic violence. Throughout our history, presidents have exercised this authority on dozens of occasions to protect law-abiding citizens from disorder. So he wrote that op-ed, opinion piece. The New York Times published it. Now, when the New York Times published it, other writers for the New York Times started, tweeting out and saying this. For example, Roxanne Gray, she writes with the New York Times. I don't know if she's a writer, op-ed piece, or columnist, or what she is, but she writes for the New York Times, running this, talking about this opinion piece by Tom Cotton, puts black New York Times writers, editors, and other staff in danger. So now they want to take literally the free speech of Tom Cotton away to make a point that's historically accurate, constitutionally sound, and say that puts black writers, editors, and other staff, their lives in danger at the New York Times. But what puts their lives at danger? You know what puts their lives at danger? The rioters. The rioters are what puts their lives at danger. And at some point, look, what else are they rioting for at this point? If they're not just trying to cause complete havoc and chaos. I mean, we know why they're rioting. It's driven and funded and pushed by radical extremist groups like Antifa. This is desirable for them. I mean, they want this chaos. They do. They want this chaos. They want anarchy, folks. That's what we're up against. And we're having this discussion about this important issue with George Floyd and all this, the protest, police brutality, the safety of black citizens when they're approached, arrested, or when they encounter an officer on the streets, and all this important stuff, legitimate stuff. But there's also that this movement has been hijacked by radicals that want much worse things for America. They want to utilize this. They want to exploit this crisis, this emotional pain, for much greater success in their crazy, demented worldview. And now we got to the point where writers who supposedly are afraid of Trump taking away their freedoms and the freedom of the press, now saying that the New York Times shouldn't run an op-ed by Tom Cotton because it's going to put people's lives in danger. But the real people putting their lives in danger are the rioters. This is just backwards thinking, completely backwards, upside down thinking. And I'm out of time. Got to take a break. Come back here, wrap up for the day. You're listening to Conservative Not Better Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at zuluscape.com.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, President of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
The compassion of Christ compels us to stop what we're doing and seek that person out. I think as Jesus went in that famous song I sang as a little kid was Zacchaeus, come down. Zacchaeus was in a tree and he wanted to engage with Jesus, but he just couldn't. And Jesus stopped and he went over to him. If we are going to live a life of compassion, the compassion of Christ, are we willing to stop and seek those who need a touch of compassion today?
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
All right, welcome back. Wrapping up here, hour number 2. Look, something else that I touched on earlier in the week, just really quickly here. The other side of this, the other side is what's happening, not just to our communities and our cities. So I'm watching people tear things down, burn things down. Now, steel bricks, they're putting them in totes, stockpiling them so that, excuse me, when it's time to use them for the riots, I'm watching them right now do this, all clothed in, covered faces and everything else, surely for the spread of coronavirus. I'm sure that's what they're practicing social distancing there as well. But that the things that are happening, the threats that our law enforcement are facing, I mean, it is, I'm going to say, I think this is the most dangerous time ever to be in law enforcement. And my hat is off to those who continue to protect communities, to stand between rioters, looters, violent criminals, and those people in those communities. My hat is off to you. So anyway, hit the wrong button there. The music went too high. So got to wrap up here for the day, guys. Hang in there. See you tomorrow. SDG. Thanks for listening.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever